Looks like we got one viewer, two viewers. How are you guys doing? I know you can't respond to me because it's live, but I hope you're doing amazing. And we're going to get rocking in a couple minutes. I'm waiting on, it's always the same thing, so I usually just say 6:05. I should just start it. Oh, I just boosted up, but I would say we'll get rolling at 6:05, let more people hop on. But tonight's going to be fun. Tonight's going to be real fun. We have a lot to cover in the short period of time, but it's going to be something that I think, honestly, even myself running across, like, really improved my trading game. I was telling one of my VIP clients the other night that I started trading with Heikin Candlesticks, which that's what we're working on tonight, but started trading with them, and my trading smoothed out a ton, especially my scalping. And they're just an amazing tool to have and to know how to use. So I'm going to be hooking you guys up with the template for it tonight, hooking you guys up with how to use them. And they look just like Japanese candlesticks. So we're going to get into it in a second. I'm just going to give it like 2 more minutes. So make sure you have your notes out. Make sure that you're diligent to take your notes tonight because it's going to be really good. And yeah, I mean, you guys can pop your questions in the question box on the side. I hate that I can't allow people to talk. I'm probably going to go ahead and upgrade to using, I like Google Hangouts because it publishes the videos really quick, but I'm going to go ahead and start to probably use a different software that you guys can actually buzz in and I can hear you talk, because that way we can kind of dialect and it'll be, or dialogue, and it'll be, a lot smoother in that case. But for now, you can type your questions on the side. So we'll get going in about 2 minutes. So, if you have a pad, take your pad out. I still take notes. Even when I'm studying myself, it's just smart to do. And what it allows you to do is retain your knowledge. So, yeah, I bet all of you guys have been studying. I know you had last week off to kind of start to go back over some of the material. And a lot of people actually I've seen have been struggling a little bit with support and resistance. So I'm trying to nip that in the bud because I want you guys to understand that to the fullest. And some of you guys, I want to just like start off really quickly. I'll just start by saying, like, you're doing amazing. Like, you're doing great. I see some of the progress. I see you guys cheering each other on in the groups and people commenting even when I don't comment back, because sometimes I'm just busy and I can't even get to my computer and my phone on time to actually comment back. But I see other people who are maturing in their trading commenting and helping out people who may be newer. So for those of you who are growing in your trading and have been actually demoing well and making progress in your demo and you're doing well, and then you're helping out the people that are kind of new and struggling in those scenarios, thank you. And much props to you guys who aren't afraid to ask for help. That's what I will say is, like, even as we start to move forward in curriculum, don't be afraid to ask me for help. I know that I'm busy, but I'll tell you if I'm busy. I want to help and I want to see you succeed. So, if you've been lazy and you haven't been going over the material or you haven't been studying, that's a whole other ballgame, because I'm not going to enable you and just give you all the answers. I want you guys to be problem solvers and to, seek the knowledge and apply it. And then once you learn it, like I said, it starts to, you have to practice it. You have to keep practicing it, and the repetition pays off. So, everything that I'm teaching you in the videos right now that you have, even before I add any of the new content, what you have in that group right now is going to set you up. I learned all of that stuff first and traded with that. That was how I started making having $1,000 days, having $2,000 days, having $3,000 days, was off of support and resistance, basically. So if you're thinking that you don't have enough, you have enough. But I'm going to give you more to smooth some things out. So this is kind of really, it is a little bit of a strategy. It's a kind of a technique, because what we're going to talk about tonight is basically, it's a scalping technique. And I ran across it and I'd heard a lot about it, but I hadn't really studied it myself. And so I've been studying it for like 2 weeks religiously, just like, on everything that I can get about it. And, does it really work? And so the best way to find out if something works is to demo it for yourself. That's what I did. I spent like actually, my family was asleep on Sunday. We were watching movies. So I got my laptop. I was like, all right, market opened up. I'm about to demo trade some Heikin and scalp. And so the scalping method that we're going to work on is going to be amazing. And for you guys who do not know what scalping is basically just extremely short-term trading. So like literally scalping the markets, like think of somebody like you're scalping, it's like you're doing something really quickly. So, basically scalping is when you're on 1 minute to 5 minute charts. highest. And basically the longer term trades are like 15-minute, 20, 30-minute, hour, 4-hour charts. Those are long term. But scalping are like 1-minute charts. Even if some of you guys use tick charts, that's cool too. But 1-minute charts is what I'm going to be looking at tonight, and we're going to get rocking. So I just want to say that though, it's like, reach out to me for anything that you need. But then on the flip tip, before you reach out to me, make sure that you've done everything to make sure that you can find it. So don't be lazy and ask me to help you with something that you know you can find. Expand your brain a little bit too. So balance it out, but I got you if you need help. So basically, let's see what's gonna pop off tonight. We're talking about Heikin candlesticks. And actually they look just like Japanese candlesticks, guys. If you look at my screen, they're red and white. And so I bet if you guys are, most of you guys already know, if the market's going up, we can just take a pretty darn good guess that those would be bullish candlesticks. The red ones are negative. And so the reason why I actually have them as white is just because that's the way the template that I have, that's the colors, and I like them. So, I think it's a cool mix up, and I know which charts I'm looking at. If I'm going to look at a regular time chart or Heikin candlesticks. So let me tell you guys what Heikin candlesticks are. Their other meaning actually would just be the Japanese average. So you guys know that we usually look at Japanese candlesticks, which are just regular time. It shows you the direct movement of the pip. And, from there, it's just the time frame. So it's literally the open, the close, the high, the low. And instead of using the open, the close, the high, the low, Heikin candlesticks actually open at the midpoint of the last candlestick's close. So that probably sounds really confusing, and I'm going to break it down for you. But that's how it smooths out your trading. And so the benefits of these are that they allow you not to get faked out. A lot of you guys hit me up a lot and you're like, Storm, I'm using this, but I'm getting faked out. And, my entry is crap and, all these different things. And so this will smooth out a lot of your entries, especially when scalping. And for a while, I trade both ways. I trade as a long-term trader. So I will leave trades open for 4 hours, 5 hours, 8 hours. I could leave them open from the beginning of the day to the night. But I've been falling in love with scalping recently again because I have been busier. And so when I'm busy and I only have an hour to trade, I literally on Sunday night made $3 grand scalping with Heikin in like 2 minutes. I was probably trading for like 40 minutes. So I was watching TV and just like practicing demoing it out. And so basically I do know that it works. And I fell in love with scalping again. I was like, wow, this saves you time. It's a really cool method. So trading on, and if you're impatient too, that's what I'd say. So basically Heikin candlesticks, the benefits of them, like I said, they smooth out the market. So if I compare them to, which I'm about to do now for you guys, a regular, this is Euro USD, it's the minute chart. I'm going to show you what the regular Euro USD looks like. And let me go to actually Market 5 right now. And you guys can kind of see that there's the reason why they look so smooth like that, it allows you to see the trend easier. So literally, usually what we see when we're looking at timed regular Japanese candlesticks, we see what? Like a mixture of red, green, red, green, red, green, and amongst the trend. These smooth out the trend for you. So it allows you to stay in longer so that you don't get faked out. One, it allows you to enter better. And for the most part, it's a pretty darn, it's kind of hard to go wrong with these. So it's pretty neat, but you have to read them a different way. And like I said, I'll break down kind of the formula of their open, their close, their high, their low. Really all that changes is their open, but I'm going to show you in a sec. So let me just compare real quick the Euro USD chart. Let me set this up super fast for you. Oh shoot, oh, far down. I feel like I've done this so many times. I'm like actually falling in love with the way that my Heikin look. When I go back to the trends on, what's the name? On a regular one, I'm like, ew. But let's see. So this is a regular Euro USD 1 minute chart. So this is what it looks like on red. And so do you guys see what I'm saying? If we look at this little, I wish I could draw a little circle, but if you follow my mouse, you can see that it really, basically amongst even a trend, this isn't really a trend right here, but let me go to another trend, true trend, downtrend. we know about pullback, of course. Those are going to happen, the little micro trends. But in the midst, we see green, red, green, red, green, red. It looks like a little Christmas kind of. And so even in the trends, you see a lot of that. Now let's look at a Heikin. Look how smooth that looks. Uptrend. That was up, up, up. So just 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes. Candlesticks slowed up. Indecision form. We drop. Woo, so it's very smooth. It's like a smooth, I love it. It's just very smooth. And your pullback, it allows you to see pullback smoother. So when it's pulling back, how we use our micro trends, for instance, this was a downtrend here. If I drew a trend line, and we could use our micro trend lines easily in here. See that? As soon as it's over, it's just over. You don't have to worry about any of the foolishness in the midst. Besides the one little doji right there, which that was nothing. It's just beautiful. So the reason why I love that is that, like I said, I'm falling in love with them is because for scalping, it's dangerous, man. You can make so much money. So we're gonna get kind of into now. You guys can see some of the benefits of them. Like I said, it's smoother. It helps you not to get faked out because of the way that they average and like the way that they're set up. And they also let you stay in trades longer. So even for like if I go to an hour chart, you can see right here, we had basically a double top form and then straight breakout. So you can see how clear it was, and you could have stayed in that trade for a very long time. And I'm going to show you why you could have stayed in the trade once I teach you, the formation of how they form and why they look how they look, etc. So they look just like Japanese candlesticks. They're just a little bit different. So if you guys don't have any questions, I'm going to keep it rolling. And if you do have questions in the midst, just go ahead and type your questions in the side box, and I'll respond to them as I look. I'll just keep keeping the side. I have it like pulled up on the side of my my charts, and I'll just answer anything that comes up while I'm talking. So I'm going to pull back to my 1 minute chart real quick. And like I said, this is most effective for scalping, or I've used it for scalping mainly because it's magic. So 1 minute charts, like, in the beginning, I used to say I don't like 1 minute charts. Now I'm liking them a lot because you can grab 20 pips and exit your trade very quickly and walk away with great profit. So let's talk about a Heikin candlestick real quick. So like I said, you guys are very familiar. I'm going to zoom in on a candlestick specifically. This is how they look zoomed in. They look totally different. But what I'm going to do is go to, if you guys remember, bullish candlesticks, which are buyer candlesticks, they do what? They open at the bottom of the cube and they close at the top of the cube. And then they have wicks on them, which are the high. So it's the highest price that it got to within that time period. And it's the lowest price on the bottom. That bottom wick is the lowest price that price got to during that whatever time duration you're looking at. So if you're on a 1 minute, same thing applies. The opposite goes for a bearish candlestick. These are regular candlesticks I'm talking about. On a bearish, you open at the top, you close at the bottom of the cube. Wicks remain the same, high, low. Now on Heikin candlesticks, basically, the reason why they call them the Japanese average is, like I said, the formula for them is that the last close, so the last candlestick that closed, they open at that candlestick's middle, meaning that like it basically, the formula for that is like the open and the close plus the close divided by 2 would make the open for the next candle. So that confused you. I'm going to have like all of the different, the calculation for you if you want to know why it looks like that. But basically it smooths out. So it's almost like these candlesticks are telling you more truth because they allow you, I mean, they're telling you a lie a little bit, but they're allowing the price to be smoothed out because what it allows it to do is not to have so much mixture. So it shows you the trend better because really what it's doing is like we see all the pullback. So when we're trading regular charts, what do we see? We'll see like a red candle. Like if this were a 1 minute regular, we see like red, green, red, green, red, green, even though it's trying to drop. And so here we can just see that price is this trend is strong. And so basically the only thing that changes on them is, like I said, it just the open for each candle is basically the previous's candle, the middle price for it. So I'm going to give the formula for that. And like I said, took me a second to get it. I was like literally struggling when I was like, what you mean, the middle of the candle? But it's basically just the open and the close of the last candle divided by 2. Well, both of them, together divided by 2. So simple but easy. I mean, the simple but, you know, can be a little hard to think about when you hear someone saying it. Either way, I'm going to give you guys the formula so you can see it. But this is how the charts look, and I love that if you can see, if you know anything about, like I said, how we trade off of what? Reversals. So it allows you to see your trend very clear, and this will help you guys not get stuck in any pullback. I mean, not get stuck in what am I trying to say? Not get stuck in basically like entering a trade and then not knowing how long to stay in, because I'm going to show you guys how to read the candlesticks. So basically, we're going to start off with how to trade them. And for uptrends, we'll start with two main things that you're really looking for when you're in an uptrend, and well, when you're looking at the candle itself, is that basically, and you're going to notice as you trade them live too, but bullish candlesticks or bullish Heikin candlesticks, the ones that do not have wick on the bottom of them tend to have a lot of strength. So if you notice, you're looking for them, you're looking at their size. So you can see that they have strength in them just by the size of the full body. And then there's only wick up top. And so it kind of applies to regular candlesticks too. I've told you guys that before. You know, when there's a lot of size on a candlestick, what does that tell you? It tells you that, for one, it's a large candlestick, so there's a lot of volume. So if you're thinking in your mind, you know, when trading, I mean, you should be in your head, like looking at the volume of whether who's in more control, who has more control. And I always say that, you know, full body candlesticks represent decision. Candlesticks with a lot of wick represent indecision. So small bodies represent indecision. Long wicks, and you know, they represent indecision, and that's usually what our reversal candlesticks look like. So if you're looking at hammers, if you're looking at dojis, if you're looking at hanging men, all of those candlesticks, what do they have? The one commonality is that they have wicks. The wicks show where they wanted to be at, which shows that they did not have enough strength to close out there. So if you're thinking that should be your trader sentiment by now. When you're looking at your charts, you should have that mindset, like you should be paying attention to how big a candlestick is. Have we seen have we seen a huge green candlestick shoot up and then a huge red candlestick follow it? Heck yes. That's usually when the market is in some form of consolidation or just, you know, indecision itself. So that, you know, like I said, what I love about Heikin, it clouds out the noise. So, you know, the confusion of seeing so many different colors. And here you can just see the trend smoothed out, and all you see are the corrections. And there's no, you know, breakup in the trend besides just the corrections, and then we move forward. Small correction, you move forward. So basically, though, you're looking at the size of the candlestick itself. So when you see one candlestick, when you're looking for a reversal, so let's for instance just trade this uptrend. I'm gonna start right. This would have been a nice little uptrend to take. And I could have done a little micro trend line in here. I mean, not a micro trend line, but this is what they call, if you guys haven't, I'm going to do a whole thing on this too, as far as like really increasing your trend lines, because I'm huge on them and I trade them a ton. But this is kind of what I call an internal trend line. So, you know, I have my main trend line, but then I have my internal one too. And so basically, though, we could have, you know, rode this wave all the way up. And so I'm going to show you guys kind of now what we would have been looking for whenever we were going to catch our reversals. So let me just pull out my micro trend lines. And I'm loving that you guys are loving these, because everybody's been hitting me up. My inbox has never been this on fleek, but like people hit me up all day. They're like, yo, I watched that entries and exits. It just makes so much sense. And I'm seeing now, you know, I'm seeing how to draw my micro trend lines. And I'm like, yes, that is what it's about. You know, you have to practice them, and they don't have to look perfect, but they definitely, you know, you want to see kind of like, I'm really sloppy with them low key. So, you know, it's just about, like I said, practicing drawing them and then demoing it until you get very comfortable with your entries to go live, you know, with it. But you can't really go wrong with this, especially with Heikin. So starting at the bottom of this trend, beforehand we were in consolidation. So if I put up a little thing, it could have said consolidated. But so consolidation, then we have a breakout into an uptrend, started making higher highs, higher lows. But look at this, and we're going to look at the candle specifically. So right here, we see a small-bodied red candlestick. If I delete this trend line in the middle, that you guys can see, hold on. Oh, it's going to delete all of them. Okay, if I just move this trend line, you guys can see real quick. We have a reversal candlestick right there. That could be a hammer if you wanted to call it that. Hammer forms right on top of my support. So reading for bullish sentiment, since we are in an uptrend, if you're reading in Heikin candlestick, what you're looking for when you're going to get into the trade is that the body is, for one, it doesn't have a wick at the bottom. So what it allows you to see is that price actually opened and there's no sign of the seller. They're basically they're absent. They're not there. Same thing for the next candlestick. Same thing for the third. So until you start to see any sign of the seller, which you rarely will see when the trend is, or when the buyers have a lot of volume. And this is for these candlesticks. So I'm telling you guys, like, this may seem like, I don't know, say like juvenile. I mean, like, it's like amateur, but it's not, because you have to know how to read these and what they look like. So they look different on a regular chart. So you can like test that out for yourself. But basically, if you're looking at these, you want to see that there's no wick. So this allows you to say, hey, I could stay in this trade. I don't even see any type of seller wick. What's the second thing we see? We see strong bullish bodies. The bodies are big. So that lets you know that the volume is just building up on them. And also they have a top wick. So we don't see any seller wick. We don't see any lows. We see a low on the third candle. What happens? The body starts to get a little smaller, right? Then we see one more push up with a full body. So basically, the next candlestick, what do we see? We see a big wick and it's red. That's your time to exit the trade. So there's two ways that you could do it, because I want to talk about a little bit of I didn't really talk much about our exits on that entries and exit video. The exits, they kind of are going to differ between everyone, because I know you guys have a lot of questions about that, and a lot of people hit me up and they say, when do you get out of trades? Well, for one, it's going to depend on how much money you have to risk. So I'm going to do a whole video lesson on risk management for accounts. So that will be a little bit of boring, because we're going to do a lot of calculations, but it's going to help you guys really, you have to start to look at your money as valuable and your trading money. So, I'm really going to start to kind of more bring it into the professional trading realm of what professional traders do and how they follow their risk management. But a simple key when scalping, since this is a 1 minute chart, guys, your rule is that you want to grab 20 to 30 pips and get out of your trade. You're going to have a spread on your trade, meaning that the spread is the amount of pips that you have to actually hit before you're in profit. So you guys have been trading Forex, most of you know that. You're going to have a spread. So if you're going to aim for 30 pips, and honestly, that's about what I would say you're going to grab when scalping, which is no problem, because if you're trading, a good amount of money, you could grab 30 pips. For instance, for me, if I put say a 3.00 lot on there, I could be walking away with, close to 300 off of 30 pips. So that's the whole thing, is that you don't need, and this is when you build your account out, of course, so we're not taking huge lots yet. But when you do get to that place where you have enough in your account to do so, scalping is effective. So off of one trade, like I said, you don't want to get greedy. You just want to go ahead, as soon as you hit that pip count, so for scalping, this is a very good method to follow. Get out of your trade when you hit your 30 pips, 20 pips, you're out. Guess what? You're in an uptrend. The market's going to correct. And what I love about Heikin is that the corrections don't take as long as regular candlesticks do. When regular candlesticks usually like 5 candlesticks, it's like, dang, how long is it going to take? Look at this. This was what, 3 candlesticks? Then what do we see? Correction is over. We could have entered right here again. All we see is a small wick there. Then we see huge body here, no wick there, at the bottom at least. So all we're looking for is no lows. What you can see is that the lows really aren't there. There's a lot of volume in the bullish candlestick itself. So that's what you're looking for. As soon as you see this doji form right there, we know that's a reversal candlestick. Exit your trade. Or you might have been out already because you would have grabbed 30 pips by now. Get out the trade. Let it correct itself. We're right back in. Heikin. I love it. Hammer forms at the bottom on top of your support. Same thing. You can look at the volume on these candlesticks. The first one did have a low down there. No problem at all. Look at how high that the high wick is. Next candlestick, no low. Third candlestick, no low. Fourth candlestick, no low. You can stay in. You have good volume. As soon as you see small candlesticks, what do those represent? Indecision. Get out of the trade. Let the volume build back up. This volume was pretty darn big. Go ahead and enter back in. You see no wicks, no bottom wicks. There's no low. And the low, like I said, is huge. So then we see here, look how many pips you could have grabbed. There wasn't even an indication on this little last run that there were any sellers there. There weren't, you know? So what I love, like I said, is that this is so smoothed out. And I don't know if this is exciting you guys as much as it excited me, because like when I was watching videos and stuff, you know, I had heard people talk about it. I'm like, oh, you know, sounds too good to be true, till I started trading it, and you know, I was in really great profit. So you see, it's so smooth. As soon as the indecision comes, we exit the trade. Simple. Down here, micro trend correction. So this played around with our emotions a little bit over here. It went sideways. The market actually stopped making higher highs. And so, you know, this could have been what somebody might have considered indecision, or, you know, a moment of consolidation per se, because it stopped making higher highs, and it went to making higher lows and lower lows and lower highs. So either way, continued on, hit the support up here. Same thing. You still have buyer volume. You can see the trend was very strong. Now, just from simple trading, we know what? When the trend breaks out of its, you know, trend, what happens? It stops making higher highs and higher lows, and now it's making lower lows and lower highs. And so basically for the buying piece, you guys can see, like I said, the rule is just that for uptrends, if you're trading Heikin candlesticks, when scalping, all of that whole trend would have made me like over 2 grand, like over 2 grand very quickly. So, you know, it's simple, but it's so effective. And I hope you guys can see how smooth the market looks, because it really does look very smooth. And basically, I'm going to go to now a downtrend. We're going to look at, and really for a downtrend, it's just the opposite. It's just the opposite of what we talked about. So on bullish candlesticks, we're looking for, you know, body size, of course, and then no wick at the bottom. If you guys look, all of the white candlesticks for bullish don't have lows. Whereas if we looked at a 1-minute chart on a regular Euro USD candlesticks, I'm going to show you guys. You see how there's always a wick on them? Here's a wick. Here's a wick in the middle. So it's not as smoothed out. It's just not as smooth of a trend. And so it lets you see so much clearer. Heikin really do. There's not all that mixing and moving. You know, you don't see all of those candlesticks that tend to scare you away when you're trading, because that's really what happens. Like sometimes you guys would make a lot more money, even for myself when I first started trading. I would just get scared. So if I'm scalping, I'm like, oh shoot, hold up, wait, you know, it looks like a reversal candlestick is forming. So really what it almost does, it's like a magic trick. They disappear mainly, and you're able just to see the market in a smoother light. So now I'm going to go to a downtrend in, you know, bearish candlesticks, and look at this. Beautiful. Right here, we went from let's see. So we were in an uptrend beforehand. Boom. This was where the breakout was. I just showed you guys that uptrend. So now, what do we see here? So bearish candlesticks, they're the opposite of the bullish. All it is just that if you notice the bullish candlesticks here, they have no selling wicks, no lows on them, no low wicks. On bearish candlesticks, we're looking for strong bodies, so strong full bodies, and no highs. So they don't have high wicks. You don't see any wicks at the top of their bodies, do you? All you see are lows. So that's good, because it lets you see the strength of sellers. So you can clearly see that the strength in the sellers were there. And so if you were scalping, I'm going to show you guys off of, let's see what this is. 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, 8 minutes, 9 minutes, 10 minutes, 11, 12, 13, 14. You would have stayed in that trade for 14 minutes. Let us calculate how many pips you would have caught. What's that? That's 9,400. Wait, what's that? 9,443. That's what it started at. You would have entered. So 14 minutes later, if you would have stayed in that trade, 9,192 if you wanted to be in that trade. Or if you would have gotten out around, you know, but I would say around this is where you would have gotten out probably, from noticing where it started to stop making big candlesticks. So that is basically 300 pips in 14 minutes, which that could have made you killer money. I don't need to go into how you guys know pips make us money. So, you know, in scalping, like I said, sometimes with the Heikin, what I love is that, you know, my rule is, like I said, in scalping, get your pips and get out. You know, so if you grab 20 pips in an uptrend and you see it starting to reverse, get out. But the beautiful thing about this, when it dropped right here, was that there was so much volume, and that's why it's important to know that the body size of the candlestick is important. And if there's any type of high, or if there isn't any type of high, means you can stay in. So if you keep seeing big red candlesticks with no highs on them, stay in the trade until you see an opposing candlestick. So we didn't see that at all for 14 minutes. Huge red candlesticks with good lows on them. All they were doing was dropping. It was like a harmonic drop, and that was it. And so that's why I want you guys to see the smaller ones, which are just reversal candlesticks that we already know most of the time. We have a shooting star right here, then we just have a drop, which that's actually a bearish reversal candlestick. So that white shooting star in the middle there would have let us know that we probably could get back in, actually. Get back in on this third candle, or the second candle. There we go. What do we see right here that forms? A white doji, bullish. Then we see what? Our bullish trend start again. No lows on it at all. We just stay in that trade until we see an opposing candle. We got out right here. Cool. Guess what? We're just going to wait now. The market resets. So you're using your support and resistance as though you use it on regular candlesticks. But all you're really doing, like I said, is just reading them differently. It smooths out the trend for you. So look at this right here. Here's another downtrend for if we wanted to use our what's it called? I'm forgetting my own method. The micro trend lines. I can't even get a true trend line on here, so bump that. But we know it's a trend because it's making lower lows and lower highs. So look, one candlestick. That's it. Could have got back in the trade. Versus having to wait for like 20 on a regular chart. So this excites me like so much. Like it was so, and you see no highs when it's dropping right here. If I put some arrows, look, for this one, no highs. It was a straight ride down. So no highs tell us what? We can stay in the trade. All we're seeing are bigger candlesticks forming. Right here, small candlesticks, we get out the trade. So we know those are dojis. But you'll hear a lot of people say, you know, small candlesticks exit. It means the volume is slowing up and they turned white. Get out your trade, keep your profit. You would have had your pips. Now it's time to get out. Scalping, same thing. Look what happens again. Breaks our micro trend line basically. We would have gotten in. Huge candlesticks, smaller candlesticks start to form. We get out. All we see though, no highs. All we're seeing are lows on our selling candlesticks. When the trend reverses and goes into consolidation over here, look what happens. You could have traded the consolidation. Easy as pie. Look at this. And I'm kind of teaching 2 in 1 because a couple of you guys were asking me about that, how to trade consolidation. So I'm going to actually do another topic on that. But I don't want to get into that because I'm getting overly excited. But here's an M that forms right here. We broke out of consolidation into an uptrend, small uptrend. Look what happens. M forms or a double top. Still using the same method. Breakout right here. Smooth candlesticks. We go into our micro trend lines. So when you're seeing a whole bunch of wicks, like how it looks right here, lets you know what? That's consolidation. You guys can clearly see that. The market went from moving down to moving sideways. So being able to identify that, even on Heikin, is as easy as they make it for us. That's what it is. It's like not having the noise of how the regular market looks. So I am like so grateful for these because they saved me, you know, like, I mean, for scalping at least. And, you know, you can use them on higher time frames. I would just say definitely practice the higher time frames. I've been using them for scalping and totally adore them because it moves so quick. So it's still the same time frame. It moves slower though, what you will see. So when you start trading them, I'm going to give you guys the template for them because you have to download it and put it into your templates in MetaTrader 4. So I'm going to create, actually, when I get off of this, the video that allows you guys to know how to, if you haven't, or no, I actually made a video already to upload templates and to upload indicators into your MetaTrader 4, whether you have a Mac or you have a PC. It's super simple, but this is the template. So when you upload the template, all you do, you would go to your charts and you would go to template. Heikin is right there. And so when I click that, it changed my chart to this. And basically, like I said, the rules are very simple. So I'm going to open up for questions really quickly, and then I'll just kind of go over everything one more time. I'll give a quick overview again of what we went over, the rules to trading them, the things to remember, etc. Does anyone have any questions? And if you do, just go ahead and type them in on the side. I'll just get silent for a second and wait, and you guys can see them actually going live right now. Let's see. And if you don't have any questions, I'll give it like 1 minute, and then I'll just go ahead and answer everything myself. Let's see. All right, so nobody has any questions? Good, that means I did a good job teaching. Okay, so real quick, we're just gonna go back over through, and like I said, the document will be in the group, in the all video lessons, as well as the video itself. So this is gonna be amazing. Like, I can't wait to start seeing your results when scalping this, because it's game over. Like, this has genuinely even changed my whole overview or outlook on scalping. I had been kind of, I don't want to say negative towards it, but I was like pushing towards longer time frames. And I see how if you do not get greedy, but you follow the rule of them, you just exit your trade. And like I said, so we'll go over that really, really quickly, but it is a game changer for scalping. So your 1 minute charts can now be put to use. I know I didn't allow you guys to use 1 minute charts much, but this definitely does open up your game. And all of us might just become bomb scalpers, because that's the way that I'm feeling right now. I'm like, I just want to scalp. I don't even want to trade long-term trades. Either way, like, real quick, we'll just go over, like I said, the bullish rules. You're looking for what you're looking for when it's trending up. You know, none of that changes. All you're looking at is just the body of the candlestick and noticing that it does not have any wicks on the bottom. So bullish candlesticks don't have wicks. When they do have wicks, it lets you know that their volume is either slowing up, or that, and you want to look at the body too, because if you see a pretty good body but a little bit of a wick like right here, and then it just continues on, you're good. And I see that Nathan is asking me, can you use this on iPads and on phones? And the answer is no, I don't believe you can, because it's a template. So usually templates are only run on on computers, because your phone isn't made to actually like have that much on it. You can do indicators on your phone, but you can't do templates. So that answer would be no. But basically, as far as like I said, the bullish is super simple. You're looking at the body size, looking at how it has no low. If it does have a little bit of a low, that's up to you to take that call if you want to get out. But it's still, don't be greedy. You know, if you grab 40 pips, 50 pips, get out your trade and just wait for the next setup. This is a 1 minute chart. So you're going to have a setup in probably like 3 more minutes. Like, I'll go brush my teeth or something and come back and have a setup, like, you know, like that. So just be patient with yourself when trading or when scalping, for sure. Downtrend, just the complete opposite. You are looking at the fact that they do not have highs. If it does have a little bit of a high and the candlesticks start to get smaller, more than likely it's about to reverse. It's about to take a quick reversal. So right here, you guys can see the market live. Look at what we see. Small small candlesticks, a little bit, then we went straight into an uptrend. Or we're making a higher high here. No lows on these candlesticks. This is live. So if I were scalping, got in down here, grabbed 40 pips, I would have been out the trade. You know, that's a couple $100. So super simple, super, super simple. Everything that you need will be posted. Like, do your due diligence on it, practice it, demo it, ask questions about it if you have any. I think I made everything pretty darn clear though. And like I said, you're gonna see it. You're gonna see how it moves. It moves slower than regular 1 minute candlesticks, because the information is more keen. So it's more of a very price action. This is like a price action candlestick. It's the average. So how moving averages move slower, so does this. It kind of moves a little slower, a little smoother. But I think it's sexy because it makes you more money. So that is it. That is all, guys. And definitely look forward to seeing some results in. Oh, Shane, thank you. I try to be awesome. And I see Alana, you asked me, can you use this for a 5 minute chart? Yes, you can. That's the highest that I really recommend it without. Like, I could say confidently go trade this, live, like on 1 minute. For anything higher, you have to definitely, demo it. So just demo and see how you feel. But I'm going to post the template and how to download it and put it into, or go make sure that you watch the how to download templates and put them into your template folder for MetaTrader 4 video. And then I'm going to drop the template in the group once I post the video with it and the document with it. So I love all of you guys. Hope that your night is amazing. I'm about to go have some dinner, enjoy time with the fam. So just hit me up if you have any questions. And then if not, new content will be dropping. Everything should be in the group by tomorrow, depending on how fast Google Hangouts allows me to get the video. So just hit me up if you have any questions. And I look forward to seeing you guys all soon. I'll talk with you guys later. Peace.